Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So today I am continuing my series of reviews by taking a look back at Countdown number 22. So I've been having a lot of fun doing reviews of these. I started out on issue number 51 and have been counting them down. So you can find a playlist of all of the reviews I've done so far with a link in the description box. So, issue number 22 was written by Paul Dini with Tony Bedard. Keith Giffen was the story consultant. Carlos Magno did the pencils, Rodney Ramos did the inks, Tom Chu did the colors, and Ken Lopez did the lettering. And the cover is by Alex Layert, and so the cover is pretty good. It's really colorful. I like it, actually. Real bright yellow and red. And what you see there is Jimmy Olsen being chased by a bunch of parademons, which doesn't exactly happen, but he is on Apocalypse. So, it's close enough to what happens in the story. It's fine. And yeah, pretty good. So we'll go ahead and start off on the first page. So what you see here is Mary Marvel floating in space with a bunch of debris and dead aliens, I guess, because in the last issue there was a whole fleet of ships that got wrecked along with the asteroid that she was on. So she wakes up from being unconscious and she says, "Oh, my head, what happened?" And a speech bubble off to the side says, "I just saved your life by teleporting away from the blast. Look around, this could have been us." So that's Eclipso talking to her. And Mary's still mad because Eclipso tried to sell her out to Darkseid, and Eclipso's still trying to convince her to do that, and it's really bad because of basically some things she insinuates. So Mary Marvel gets really mad and takes Eclipso's gem from her, and as you can see here, uses the gem's power to just destroy Eclipso. As far as I can tell, Eclipso's dead. So then Mary says, "Holy moly, they say diamonds are a girl's best friend. What do you know? Another lie." So, looks like she's on her own again, and I assume is even more powerful than she already was since she has Eclipso's gem. And she also has Black Adam's powers, so she is just insanely strong right now. So we go to Apocalypse. Jimmy Olsen's on Apocalypse. He and Forager 2 went there on a mission, and he got captured, so it's not going too good. He's getting whipped, it sucks. But he gets rescued by this guy in the shadows he sees, and he goes over there, and lo and behold, it's Mr. Miracle. So that's always awesome. If you're on Apocalypse, you will be pretty happy if you run into Mr. Miracle. So that's a very good thing for Jimmy. And he and Mr. Miracle leave and are basically talking quite a bit, and believe it or not, in this storyline, Big Barda is dead. I don't know if they're going to be able to bring her back to life or what, but Mr. Miracle is really distraught, of course, and Jimmy tries to console him, and Mr. Miracle's been searching for Big Barda's soul. So it's pretty crazy what's going on. And since Jimmy's powers only activate when he is in mortal danger, Mr. Miracle takes him up in the air because they need his powers. And he says, "Do you trust me, Jimmy?" And Jimmy says, "Do I have a choice?" And Mr. Miracle says, "Nope," and throws him towards one of the fire pits. So we're going to have to assume that his powers activate, but we don't get to find out in this issue. So going to the next page, Mister Mxyzptlk, if you followed my last review, just escaped from being tormented by Superboy Prime. So what we see here is he gets back to the 5th dimension, and he's totally panicking, and he says, "Seal off the dimension, the 5th dimension, seal it off. He's there. He is the end, and I can never go back." So pretty dramatic. And then we go to the next page. So the Piper and the Trickster have been on the run for forever, and I was actually getting fed up with it in this issue, and I think pretty much all of the readers must have been too, because Deadshot shows up on the train that those two are on, breaks through, and there's a whole back and forth. It actually goes for quite a few pages, 6 or 7 pages of fighting between Deadshot and the two, and they're still tethered together as they've been for a very long time. And it's a pretty good little back and forth fight. The two rogues managed to find some hubcaps, and they put battery acid on him and throw him on Deadshot's face, and then they clothesline him with their tether, and when they're tethered together with that thing, it electrifies him, so they shock him with that, and they throw him out of the train. Looks like they're doing pretty good, but he reaches back and grabs onto the Trickster. So now they're all being shocked, and on top of that, he's pushing the Trickster's face into the ground as the train's going, and it's really brutal and bloody, and then looks like they're going to get away, but Deadshot takes a couple shots, and believe it or not, the Trickster dies. So it finally wrapped up with that. So I don't know, we'll find out in the next issue, but the Piper, of course, is very distraught. He and the Trickster were really good friends. So at the very last page, you see a full page splash page. It's quite gory, and you see the Trickster there shot through the chest and the head. So that's how the issue ends. There's another one of those bonus origin stories at the end. It's pretty good. It is appropriately the origin of Deadshot. So that was written by Scott Beatty, and the artist was Freddie Williams II. So pretty cool, good issue. I of course like the series. I would definitely recommend checking it out, and be sure and check out my other reviews if you haven't already. We're going to be doing a live stream tomorrow nights. Well, tomorrow afternoon, depending where you are. It's going to be at 5:30 Eastern Time, and we're going to be talking about our 10 favorite villains from the DC animated movies. Alright, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. Be sure to subscribe if you aren't subscribed. And that's all. And as always, thanks for being a part of DC Fans United.
End of line.